suburbs of Birmingham are a tornado bag. Even more.
Well, it would seem as if after canning Brett Cooper, the Daily Wire is experiencing some pretty serious blowback. You see, about a week ago, Brett Cooper, who was pretty much universally beloved, left Daily Wire under some pretty strange circumstances, with rumors swirling that she was fired for having some ideological differences. Now, before we get into things, let me give you guys a little bit of a brief recap so we're all on the same page. Immediately after Brett left the Daily Wire, she was replaced on her own talk show by her former producer, a girl named Reagan. On top of that, it was around this point that Brett started unfollowing everyone at Daily Wire all over social media. And so this is where we get to the blowback. How are the viewers responding to this entire situation? Well, not in a positive way, to say the least. Take a look at this. This is a screenshot from the website Social Blade, which can be used to check the analytics of various YouTube channels. So if we check on Daily Wire's channel, the comments section, which was created by Brett Cooper, who has since been replaced by their new girl Reagan, you can see that the channel has lost 270,000 subscribers since Brett Cooper left on the 10th of December. This is an insane amount of people that are pissed off at Daily Wire and don't want anything to do with them anymore. In fact, as of recording this, I personally have 83,000 subscribers, so make sure to subscribe, but they just lost 270,000 subscribers, over 250,000 people, in less than 2 weeks. People are not happy. But wait, it actually gets worse. Take a look at this. The comments section has had 5 episodes since Brett Cooper left. All 5 of them have had absolutely terrible like to dislike ratios, pretty much getting worse with every single episode, as you can see. Now this is where we're going to have a little bit of fun. Considering the name of the show is the comments section, I thought it would be fitting to take a look at what people have said in the one and only comments section. Let's go. When some comments get more likes than the video itself, it tells a lot. This is like when my parents replaced my dead goldfish with another goldfish as if I wouldn't notice. The show finally lives up to the name because without Brett, all I'm doing is looking at the comment section and not the video. They can't even turn off the comments because then this channel would just be called The Section. So yeah, very clearly people are just a little bit upset with this entire situation, and it sure looks as if we are watching the implosion of this channel in real time. But hey, I want to know what you guys have to say about all of this, so please drop a comment in my comments section. Let me know what you think. Please like the video if you liked it. Please subscribe. That is huge. It helps a ton and it goes a long way. Thank you very much for watching.
Bot Rix has correctly joined the channel.
Stay safe.
To be illegal, wouldn't that be worse? Matt coming in with the big 5. Jake, your mom's going to be home in an hour. I'm not sure what that refers to.
The reason that you would advocate for CP to be illegal, even though prohibition is not an effective form of reduction, is because the victims in CP have a right to be defended and protected.
It makes
It's
no
about
sense.
protecting. How does it not make sense?
Well, because here's why. If the idea here is the reduction of said thing, and said thing is going to increase by you, using the state to oppress said thing, then logically you would want the said thing to be legal so that it could be regulated or something like this, because it would actually reduce it.
So on a individual level,
what
I personally think it would be immoral to look to know something like that is going on and to go hands off because for the greater good. But on a more societal level, I don't think they're the same, because I think that CP appeals to a mental disorder.
So, but do you want
so
less?
You
want less of it, right?
So there's not a growing customer base. You can always get somebody else hooked on a new drug. You can't always make
sense,
CP.
bro. Does it? Does criminalizing something reduce it or not?
There's more variables that go into that. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, so then answer my question. Then no. The answer is no.
It's that you're asking the question wrong. They're not equivalent. Drugs have everybody as a potential customer. CP does not.
So
I just want to ask.
wait, I don't. Hang on. Let us finish real quick. I'll only be a second. I'm going to ask this again, because you can just say no if this isn't the case. Is it not your worldview that criminalizing something creates a black market for it, actually increases the production of said thing?
It increases the price of the said thing,
but it doesn't increase the production.
It does not necessarily increase the quantity of it.
Well,
because
if it increases the price, then less people are going to get it.
I just already explained why the two are not equivalent.
It makes no sense, because if it necessarily raises the price, less people are going to do it. Therefore, you would want to criminalize it.
It raises the price because of the prohibition, but it doesn't increase the market share for something that is not. There's not a potential customer market with CP that can grow into.
Why?
I don't know this for sure.
Why not?
Because I don't think you or I are going to say that, you know what, if we were just exposed to it more, we would then become CP fans.
Yeah, so what?
If either of us started smoking crack, we would probably become regular customers.
Wait a second. So you're saying so that's like saying this. You agree with me that some people may not ever drink alcohol, but if they did, they would become addicted to alcohol, right?
That's not what I was saying.
Can you answer my question?
Sorry, ask it again.
You agree with me that some people who would become addicted to alcohol never become addicted to alcohol because they never drink alcohol?
Correct.
Okay, so this would entail then that by giving them said alcohol, right, the chances of them becoming alcoholics greatly increases. How would that not be the same case with CP?
Because adults who are attracted to children don't need CP to figure out they're attracted to children.
Wait. How do you know?
Greetings.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't know, right? Exactly. It makes no fucking sense. Well, so what we can look at.
Hold on. You think that nobody?
Hang on. I have some studies that I can show you where, for instance,
you're telling me that pedos don't know they're attracted to kids until they encounter CP.
Not only is there a strong correlative for this, but it's so strong that they outlawed CP sex dolls. For this particular reason, because what they found was that people who engaged in that activity were more prone to enact it in reality.
Such creatures as the
But
old
we're
gods.
more prone to gather
Thank
new
you,
people, I think,
adventurer.
is the argument.
Therefore, your position that by outlawing this, it would actually decrease the market share. That would be Jake Rattlesnake's and my position as well. But if you wanted to be consistent with your other positions, you'd have to say you should decriminalize it because it would reduce it.
The two will not be consistent with each other because they are not the same paradigm.
The same paradigm, yeah.
Yeah.
It is the same paradigm.
I know that you keep trying to make the situations the same, but they're not the same.
It's the same exact paradigm. If it is true that taking a drink, if you never take a drink, you never become an alcoholic, therefore no alcohol around, you never can indulge in alcohol, be the same exact case. If there's no, thing that triggers the mind for CP, you never see it, right? There's a great chance the correlation there is that you'll never engage in it. It's the same exact fucking argument.
it is not CP that causes pedos to recognize that they're attracted to kids.
Prove it.
There's kids in the world.
Yeah, but that
Like-
doesn't mean until they see the act that they're into the act.
And I don't have an answer for that.
Right.
Do you? I mean, like, do you know? Do you
Yes,
know?
yes. Well, the studies that I've read about it is that people who have, and they call it, I'm not even going to say what they call it, but the thing is, people who have this quote affliction, right? We'll just call them psychopaths and lunatics. People who have this affliction often say that there's a trigger for it. They see somebody who's naked when they shouldn't, or they see some sort of activity like this, and then they start moving towards it. It stands to total reason that that would be the case. That is most of the case with most sexual forms of deviancy. For instance, far less homosexuals without the portrayal of homosexuality. In other words, you don't know what you don't know. So women report that they're far more sexually satisfied when they get married as virgins. Why? Because they have no sense of reference to what other sex feels like. So it makes total sense.
It's
I don't know
the
if
race
it's or not.
critic.
I'm not gotchaing or cite your sources, but if you have that, I would be interested to see it.
Yeah, I can
It's
send it to you.
logical. It's
Appreciate
logical. I don't know if it runs
I have a
counter to
question
what
again,
you're
then
saying,
Flow
Flo,
State.
but it's all logical.
Yeah, whoever said that, go ahead.
Flow State, have you heard of a small island north of Australia
Called Papua New
called
Guinea.
Papua New Guinea?
I'm doing it. All right.
So,
Oh,
on this small island, there's another smaller group of people. We like to call the Simbari Seaman Warriors.
Yes.
What?
Well, yeah, they're
What
actually
they
call the
do-
Cum Warriors. We're not kidding.
Sorry.
It's not
I
a
was
joke.
Not
going
for
with the
that
alliteration,
seafaring
the
skills.
Christmas theme. Okay.
I can't believe somebody
Simbari
got
Cum
that name
Warriors.
before me. That's
So, the Simbari Cum Warriors, a rite of passage into adulthood, is the children of the people end up sucking the dick of their elders.
Correct.
Now, there doesn't seem to be any
Requires
harm done to
engineering.
these people. They don't have any of these mental health
What?
conditions or any of these things we say. Would you have an issue if we took videos of this happening and sold that as the child porn?
yes.
Why?
Okay, why would you have an issue?
And I don't have a logical support for it. I'm telling you that right now. Yes, I've got an issue with that. No,
All
it's
right.
not going to hold.
All right, kill the
consistent water.
screen mystery. Thank you, Sarah, for letting me on the panel. Jake, just want to come on and say that was a fun debate to watch. Appreciated it a lot. And yeah, I'll see
Check
you
your
later.
DMs, Andrew. Check your Twitter DMs.
Yeah, will do, man.
All right, cool. See you later.
See ya. All right. There's not any D-gens there to completely fucking annihilate. All right. Mr. Enigmatic, can you send over Mr.
Hey, that's me.
Yeah, Mr. Jake Rattlesnake wants a DM. We'll bring him on as a guest real quick. Guys, we're at 90% of the dono goal. Oh, well, almost 90%. Only about 1,000 to raise, and then we're going to start giving out some prizes. So let's make sure that we raise the rest of it. I'm going to bring Jake on here. We're going to chat for a bit. A little after party. I noticed that Alex was still quite miffed with me. I was actually kind of shocked by that. This is old drama, old news. So I still have no bad blood against the guy. I'm not gonna shit on him. Yeah, I get it, bro. And whether they can hear you or not, can you send Jake a link? Oh, okay, great. Let me just tell him. Yeah, gotcha. We'll have a bit of a debrief with Mr. Rattlesnake, the king of Australia himself. By the way, if I have Jake, I'm just curious about this. Man, I don't think it would work. No, it wouldn't work. It seemed like a good idea at the time. It would be kind of fun to do like a Australia United States TikTok invasion, you know. Let me check the dono chat too, real quick here, guys. Sorry, I've been a bit remiss in my duties. Yeah. $5 comes in from a 5 Dillionaire Bachelor. Hey, Andrew, wasn't trying to resurrect beef with the guy who wears his mom's shower cap in his face for a few weeks back. Sincerely didn't realize there was a ceasefire. Anyway, Merry Christmas from England. And here's to more victories from 2025. Yeah, it's always better to try to bring people over to your side, right? So anyway, $10 from Will Fitch. Merry Christmas, Rachel and Andrew. Merry Christmas to you as well. $5 from JPN, who says, for the grift. Merry Christmas to all. Merry Christmas to you too. $10 from Dano says, didn't realize you planned to grill him on that when I sent my super chat. My bad, dude. No, it's not your bad. I was just bitching. I was bitching. Yeah, I was going to grill him on that. You just beat me to it. Don't listen to me. I'm just fucking, I'm complaining like a woman. I was complaining like a woman. You don't have to listen to that. Right? I was just complaining because you beat me to it. That's all. Mike Ball says Alex eats the Snickers bar upside down so the veins touch his tongue. You guys.
What the fuck?
It's kind of funny. All right, you can pull up those super chats, Mr. E. We'll read them. Make me win the prize, Andrew. Mr. Enigmatic, can you hear me? Okay, you want to pull those supers up? Must be fucking weird for the audience to just like see me talking to myself all the time, calling myself Mr. Enigmatic.
Hey, audience. Mr. Enigmatic here.
Yeah, Mr. Enigmatic here. It's not just a voice in my head, I promise. Either that or I'm a
voice in all your head.
Well, maybe I'm a really good fucking ventriloquist, right? Anybody ever think of that?
Yeah. Talk at the same time. Talk over yourself. Okay, we're going back 3 hours. I'll go full screen.
I find myself intellectually struggling to keep up with some of the debates I've watched. I feel slow because of it. What got you into debating people? I hate the left more than any human being who's ever lived. So that's a great motivation for me. Don't feel bad about it. We all felt slow when we first started listening to debates. So just don't worry about it too much. Not a big deal. You'll get it or you won't. Really simple, right? When will there be another TikTok invasion? I just did fucking a TikTok invasion last night. And by the way, if you guys want to see all the great TikTok invasions that we do, you want to see all the other content we do, you can become a member today of the Crucible.video. We'd love to have your patronage over there. Darius for 5. I appreciate it. We need that. What did he say? Ochia? What the fuck is that, Mr.
No, he said we need to out here, like out here. He's talking like
we need
like
that out here. Oh, okay, especially from the night shift boys. They represent. I do love the night shift. I must admit. I'm sorry, man. My my Ebonics is a little out of date. Wrongful rage.
So unlucky.
Hold here, maybe Nick. Trying to hold your nest up.
Has its privileges.
They're gonna portal. They get push up. They're gonna try and troll with portals.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they're trying to do that weird shit.
I unleash the Vishanti's
That's big. We're behind them.
Nice job. Good night. I'm dead.
Change the back. Change on me. Change here. Get behind you, Eric. Weak. Still got you? Yeah. It's not. I guess that's not that bad. By the eye of Agamotto! Yeah, that happened. Yeah, it's good for space.
I am ready to put on a show.
I'll be there soon. That's for I.
Armed and dangerous!
Get him out. On point.
Hit one's down. Magneto weak.
Luna behind us. Winter Soldier.
Magneto weak. Winter Soldier one shot. I might be able to kill the Winter Soldier. Maybe not.
Winter Soldier 1.
There's one. Dead.
You need me.
Diablo 4 has achieved its ultimate form. From new endgame content to quality of life features to huge system overhauls, moving towards choices that better reflect the way we build our characters. The speed of leveling up has been improved drastically since the game launched. Now's a great time to jump back in, see how you like all the new content and the changes.
T-Spirit. What? I'm in fucking Act 2. Okay. Wait, didn't I have like another spirit gem? Oh, here.
My asshole's hungry. I need a delicious meal for it. What? Did you hear that? Boom, boss down. I even got a ring. This ring's epic. Watch this now. This game's shit. I mean, technically that's not even that bad. Wait, I got an AUG. I'm AUGing it. It's worth. How do I not get damage? Why is it always accuracy? How do I have 3,000 gold? Wait, what? Oh, I know why. My first character was HCSSF. That's why. You can't migrate, dude. You can't do anything. I'm just stuck with it. It's not my fault. The tail. Oh shit. Alclur orb. What the fuck? Dude, I'm buying this. I bought it. What do you mean 1 to 14 lightning damage? 8 attack. Dude, this is more attack speed than the entire warrior class kits already by level 5. Now. No. I didn't get my weapon base in this zone. That's bullshit. Now. It's done. But now. Also on all melee skills. Isn't that like a fuckload of damage? I have attack speed, but like I'm pretty sure this is like way better because I have attack speed investment. That's like so much damage, right? Rare chest. This is gonna be epic as fuck. Unique item in there for sure. What?
When demons of the Legion fall out of favor, their spirits are imprisoned within orbs and distributed to their mages and warlocks. Many were carried by their servants in Azeroth. Even fragmented, they still possess the powers of the demons trapped inside. The Orb of Sora and Rook was broken into 2 pieces. One was further broken to be used by the acolytes of the Twilight's Hammer in Blackfathom Deeps. The other, larger piece, was possessed by a wizard in Shadowfang Keep. Find them, and I can reform it.
It's not even worth. I mean, it is, but hold up. Fuck. I don't want to have to redo that shit. Do we have upgrades coming? Staff of Shade. What does this even fucking drop? What the hell is this bullshit? What do you drop? RFK. Shadowfang Keep. Was that a 0.8% chance? What is this one? 0.4? I wish I could look in the future without going too far ahead. Yeah. How much? Oh, it's 100% not worth. Yeah, no, we're not fucking doing that shit. Wait, where are the fragments at? Where do you get the fucking... Maybe.
Where can I send you today, adventurer?
That really pisses me off. Whatever. fuck? That's fine, because I have to get ready for work at 2. So let's be at the gym absolutely no later than 11 a.m. Let's try to shoot for 10 a.m.
Don't touch what you can't afford.
Fuck, I ain't gonna make it in time.
New this year, the PX 238 Winter Wondervolt. Step on up and don't be shy. And sign these forms before you try it. We're still working a few bugs out of this thing.
Please wait for me. Oh my god. Woo!
How may I be of service? Watch your back.
Watch back. Watch back, watch back. Ooh, I wonder if they have... I'm actually curious about that. I wonder if they have a Path of Exile. Hot topics. They have tier list? Meta? Currency meta? Eh. What the fuck is this shit? New class? What is this? Spiritborn? Dance of Knives, right? Will Volley Spiritborn. Will Volley Spiritborn. Well, whatever this class is apparently broken. Huh. Lightning Spear Sword. Alright, what is this Quill Volley Spiritborn? What is this? Bugs.
Quill Volley Spiritborn build guide for Season 6. This is expected to be the overall best build in the game. Recently we had the press early access and I was able to play the Spiritborn for roughly 100 hours, and this is the build I have played by far the most. So this is my favorite build on the class, I would say. This is also going to be my season starter for racing to World First, for example, and we have this ranked at the top of the endgame pit push tier list on max roll that I just made a video about as well. So overall, Spiritborn is pretty good, but I think this build is definitely a little bit ahead of the other builds. There are some other really strong push builds, in particular Touch of Death comes to mind, that is also like really destroying stuff with ridiculous damage output. But Quill Volley works from level 1, in fact I will have a leveling guide on Maxwell for this, and a written endgame guide as well that is already published that you'll see here in this video. And I have a planner that will guide you from the progression starting at level 1 all the way to pit 100 and beyond. This build will, like fully optimized, actually go to way beyond pit 100, so you can easily level your glyphs to the maximum and just complete anything in the game. What you see here right now is a very, very unoptimized version that I just kind of clipped together when I was playing this. I had effectively no masterworks, no ancestrals, my glyphs were very low, and this is kind of what you're seeing here right now, and I'm cruising for like 75 of this, with even the wrong aspects. So yeah, this is kind of what you can expect here. Quill Volley Spiritborn. The way this build works is that this is a range build that works a bit like a multi-shot from Diablo 3. You shoot out these quills, these feathers, and there is an aspect void that makes them also come back to you and hit enemies a second time. So you produce a lot of hits, a lot of lucky hits as well to trigger like a crowd control attack, these kind of things. And it can shotgun enemies from close range. So you see this here, for example, on an elite. You want to try to get very close, then maybe pull in enemies as well. For example, with Vortex, even on the bar or from rune. In fact, this build is based on the Vortex rune to pull enemies in all the time, and then you blast them down with like 20 hits per attack. There are several ways of hyperscaling the damage to the moon on this build. Number one is the Rod of Kapileke plus Midnight Sun combo. So with this weapon and the ring, you can get infinite resources and proc Rod of Kapileke every single hit, giving you a guaranteed crit with damage amplification. This is pretty massive, and there's some other like extra benefits that the weapon brings. And you can see here my resource globe right now that basically goes to 0 and full every single time I attack. So this is one of the main combos to work around in this setup. The build definitely functions without that in the early game, but then once you have that, it's super powerful and you just like blast off into the higher pit levels. On top of this, like many other Spiritborn builds,
Hey guys, welcome back to Artosis Cast. Hope you're having a wonderful day here today, and it is going to get better regardless. We have Flash up here at 12 o'clock, and he is playing against Snow again. In fact, they played 2 times in a row on the ladder, and that is very exciting because this is entirely recent, right? So as of the moment you're seeing this, this was played within a couple days. And yeah, that's going to be awesome. Like I'm so excited to continue to watch what's going on with Flash's mind on TVP. I got to give you guys a few updates, okay? Because we've been watching this, we've been talking about the fact that you know, Flash is, you know, testing a lot of things and maybe changing the metagame a little bit and things like that. And people are starting to copy him, okay? So, like, I watch a lot of StarCraft, and, you know, we saw that one Scan versus DeWalt game where it's like, oh, look at this. He's kind of using this Wraith idea against the Robo. So that's been popping up. But then also, remember all the upgrade Terran games that Flash has played? Royal was trying to use upgrade Terran as well recently. And that was against Snow in the KCM Race Survival series. So Flash is definitely leaving an imprint. I hadn't seen anyone try upgrade Terran in quite a while, but Royal gave it a big try, and it was like a reasonable game against Snow. You know, he ended up losing that one, but it's Snow, so what can you do? But it's very cool to see this evolution, and there's not a question that all the top players are watching Flash's ladder games. They're absolutely, because he's not streaming them, so they're going, they're downloading them, they're watching them, they're trying to figure out, okay, what's he on to? Because that's like, it just kind of shows that everyone knows that Flash is going to change things and, you know, make, wow, I can't believe you lost an SCV there, that's so annoying. He is going to change things and make a mix-up in the metagame. So yeah, very exciting to see it. There is quite a bit of probe harassment here. Seems like Flash is actually having a very hard time. You know, when someone comes out like this, you do have to repair. If someone's this good with the probe, you can't just try to counter it with the SCV. The probes are just so much better. So anyways, he did get that kill, but he is going to lose this probe most likely. Yeah, it throws that second depot down there. It is a little bit late of a second depot. A Zealot coming across the map. And no range as of yet, just Dragoon coming up. So it looks like he wants to put some pretty heavy pressure on. And you can see that supply block that's being eaten by Flash is just because of that probe harassment, right? Like this depot is very late. It was a fast factory, so that's nice. But he had to skip like an entire SCV there, or maybe a little bit more than an entire SCV to get the Marine. And as his SCV sees the Zealot coming, he goes third depot, which is really smart. But as soon as you kind of force a third depot, if Protoss throws down the Nexus, they get ahead. So like looking, oh no, the SCV got in the way and they glitched. So he's already taken 2 hits, 3 hits right there on that one Marine. So loses the Marine, and he was making the second depot to help counter this, and in fact starts a second. Like when you start the second Vulture, this is a nod towards, you know, you need more units. And in fact, there is a and he cancels that out as this comes up. So it looks like he feels like he can't hold it. And I was going to say, if you make the second Vulture, you need to actually counterattack your opponent, but it doesn't work that well. Like if they don't have great micro, you can do very well with that. But yeah, this case doesn't seem like that would be a good one. Now, is, you know, considering Snow has some of the best micro in the whole world. Okay, where are we at? Hasn't started the CC yet, so this is a huge issue because the Nexus is almost done. This is like turning into worse than a Nexus first build, right? Like for Terran, he's just, this is not a good situation. And in fact, yeah, he is going to go for a push. Okay, absolutely can't blame him for this, because that Nexus is so fast. And, you know, Snow took a lot of damage on this one Dragoon. Uh,
silent and
you know,
pay
I guess
attention,
the Zealot is fine,
was
but
sent to this
this was
position
pretty
in
bad
order
for
to
Flash. So
survey the town
Flash
of
is going to go ahead and send this
mission
now.
is one
He
of
is getting mines. He has a
It is
Vulture up in the
imperative that you
front.
send word
This is
to
just
High
like an
Executive
FD
Darthalia in
push,
Cannon
right?
Mill
Fake
at
double
once.
factory.
Let her know that
It's
I,
not
Deathstalker
popular
Lash,
anymore.
send the
No one
following
really
message.
does this
The
anymore, and
ravens
it
cry
generally
from
doesn't
the
work at
west,
higher
dog
levels.
beckon.
But
Follow
this
the
is a
road to
very
the
late
east
range
and
from
pay
Snow,
close
so there
attention
is
to
an
the signs.
opportunity here
Now
where
hurry.
Flash may
Off
be
you
able to
go
get
to
something to
Terran
happen
Mill,
with this.
and with
And
urgency,
if
I
he
might
doesn't, he's basically screwed because this Nexus is so fast. Now coming down and pushing in, he's going to be able to target down that Zealot very, very quickly. One mine gets targeted by the probes immediately. Oh my god, and he kills the goons. That was a misfire there on those goons, so he doesn't get the mine pick off. And suddenly this push has put Flash into the lead. Like this is... excuse me, I don't think that he'll actually kill him because there's going to be 2 more goons popping out in a second. Oh, maybe he does actually. That goon actually had like 3 hits left on it, and then the tank took no damage from that. The 2 goons popping out, like, notice how he brings the probes up? He was pushing them so that they couldn't lay a mine here. If they had laid a mine here, that would have probably been it. But there is an observer out now. He's using his probes to fight. Very good micro from Snow. Very good awareness of exactly what he needed to do to not die here. So Flash took this situation that was absolutely wretched, and he's turning it into a very, very winning position. His command center is done. He's transferring SCVs. There's no probes being built up here. He's still killing some more. Flash is up 9 workers. It's absurd, right? Like the Nexus was done and he hadn't had anything started, right? There were some things that went wrong. The initial probe did great harassment. The SCV building the SimCity depot blocked the Marines and made him take a hit on one and lose another one to the Zealot. And he turned on the aggression. And honestly, you can't blame him because that's such a bad position at this type of level that you're probably not going to be able to really do anything. Like Protoss is just going to dictate the rest of the game by expanding and going Observer and going Reaver. It's kind of like when you see a Zerg lose a drone or an Overlord, and then they just go, no, we're going massling. We're going all in. Can't recover from this. And it's like, well, I mean, sometimes you can. Every position is different, obviously. But some great play there from Flash. Like, that was very, very well executed. That one mine that hit the 2 goons is really what did it. But you can see the micro from Snow as well, where he's just... The probes did so much for him. But right now, an 8-worker advantage for Flash. And he's adding 2 factories up here. He's putting them into kind of a funny position. He may just want this for his macro area. Like, this spot is hard to put your factories down and have it feel good. I wouldn't be surprised if he's decided he wants this area to be for factories. Because this area, like, when Reavers are coming in and recalls are coming in, it gets really... It's super crowded, and, like, you know, your initial Sim City down here. Yeah, it's never good. Like, I hate playing this position up here. Anyways, he's going into 5 factory, which when you get an advantage like that, you always basically want to go into 5 factory and repressure your opponent. Because either they spend almost all their money on making units to stay alive, or they die to the push, right? Like, you don't let them catch up economically by going for the 5 factory play. So he is getting Vulture speed. That shuttle with Reavers tried to come in, but of course, not even Snow going to be able to do too much from this spot. Now the tank's moving out. This is a very fast move out from Flash. And he is going to counter here with the Reaver. Like... I don't know. I think just the units popping out here definitely can block this. Maybe he can get a bunch of kills, but like back over here, the goons are going to be completely cleaned up by these siege tanks, I'd say. Bring some SCVs here as well. Trying to make it so he can't really dance those away. Hey, like he picks off a few tanks. More goons coming up. Unfortunately, it is just still 2 gate. He is making a Reaver, but that's going to be a little bit late here, unfortunately. In the meantime, the Reaver is actually getting some pretty insane damage. Look at that, 11 kills on that Reaver. And suddenly, Snow is up 12 workers. What? What a crazy game this is. Snow's counterattack with the Reaver and then just trying to take reasonable engagements, even though he's losing like every single unit. Now, a Reaver coming up, this is going to be able to block vultures from killing all his probes, so that's good at least, but it can't really do anything against the tanks until a shuttle comes. Turret coming up, but the tanks actually are too far out to block anything from this. He has an observer here, so he can actually pick off the mines as well. It looks like he wants to move forward a little bit. And the Reaver is still out here. It looks like this base should be fine. I still think Flash wins this, but Snow making this a real game right now. Siege is close enough to hit the Reaver, I think, if he gets that vision. Yeah, and does do a big volley onto that Reaver. Probes having to run from that natural. 26 SCVs against 49 probes right now. But Snow does get a pretty big supply block, adding more gateways as well.
Where would you like to fly?
Very, very down and dirty game right now. Now, the Reaver going to come out, but, like, there's just too much here. It doesn't matter if you drop the Dragoon first. He's not going to get anything done with this. As you see, he couldn't even get the shot off. There's just, like, so many vultures that if he had waited, that Reaver might have just died to the next volley. He was going to die or get very deep red, like to 1 hit point red. Yeah, mine's going down. I don't think that there's anything left here for Snow. Still has his Reaver over here trying to make some magic happen because he does have this additional Nexus. If he could somehow deal more damage to Flash and then clean this up, okay. And, you know, he has 5 gates, so, like, the cleanup is still a possibility. The Reaver over here just going to start blowing up some more stuff. 26 SCVs with 7 of them sitting there. It's only 19 on minerals and gas right now for Flash.
You can find the Syndicate Shadow Mages in Durham.
That's crazy. And Snow is still... Dude, if Snow holds this and wins this game, this will be the craziest thing I've ever seen. The shuttle's still out here.
All of this clean air puts me in such a...
He's losing buildings left and right. He's barely mining. I don't think Flash even... Maybe he doesn't even know about that 3rd Nexus. I'm not sure. I love the barracks up here spotting so he sees exactly who he's pushing into. Because, like, you know, Flash's economy is bad enough that he knows he needs to be a little bit careful here. That's for sure. It's funny, actually. There's nothing in this bunker. He could have maybe dropped that Reaver on that tank.
Creeper Ichor. You'll find both bears.
So 2 Reavers are out. Uh-oh. He's Flash doomed. Now that there's 2 Reavers here from Snow. He's pushing back into these gates. You can see Snow builds the gates further and further back because he just needs some production. Again, if he holds this, his worker count plus the 2nd Nexus could actually make a comeback. It just doesn't seem like there's any true way to break this push, right? Like, even great Scarabs here aren't going to break it. Like, he just hit that Sea Chink and killed vultures with it. Now he's going to stop this turret, maybe. Woo. You see the... Ooh, this one's going to eat the mine. So that Dragoon ends up dying. He does have this Reaver kind of on anti-vulture duty. Tanks continue to leapfrog. There's no more SCVs here to build more turrets, so he's not going to have any, like, anti-air support beyond this turret, it looks like. Okay, finally dives in and kills that very red Reaver. Starts going after probes, but honestly, even killing a few probes here is not that big because his saturation is so high. Like, 20 probes here is going to be fine. He's got 44, so you're not really worried about that. Now, the Reaver goes down. Almost no production left here for Snow. Has some Zealots. He might try defusing some mines. Gets that Reaver out, picks it up. Reaver definitely still going to be a bit key.
Some other warriors were sent
he actually did end up going in there and busting that tank. You can see he took like all the shields and some hull hits there. But it looks like he did finally clear that tank out. And he killed 6 more SCVs for Flash as well. So this Reaver is still causing havoc. I can't believe how hard it is to actually kill Snow.
They took a few of us captive, but I was able to escape. Durnhold is just
now he has the 2 Zealots. It's 4 tanks. See, the math is still so on Flash's side for this push. That's a huge Scarab, but now he's taking massive damage on this one Reaver as well. Tries to push forward. I think that's it. I don't think that there's anything left here for Snow now. He has a few more units popping out. He does have a single Vulture killing off this Nexus, so there's even more of a timer on Snow. Trying to do something with this Reaver. Like, he might actually be able to kill that tank as well and deal some more damage. Gets another tank. This is so crazy. Still grinding things down right now. Can't be even losing an observer at this point. Not mining gas anymore. Oh my god. Oh my god. 17 SCVs remain. If Snow wins this game, I'm writing a letter to Blizzard. It's the last straw. There, right? Like, there's no way. There's no way. So he's bringing in this Reaver. Dude, I mean, this Reaver's doomed. He's like laying offensive mines on this as it pops out. All right, comes up and gonna go after the tanks again. He has a probe in the shuttle now. You can see just how desperate he truly is. And GG is called. Okay, that's gonna do it. Flash does end up taking it, but that's kind of crazy. That one counter push. It's funny because Flash moved out so early with the, like, how many tanks was it? Was it 7? I want to say 7 tanks. And then Snow just took the high ground, so there were some missed shots and took the engage as well as he could while counter pushing with the Reaver, and there just wasn't any, you know, there's no armory, right? So he just didn't have any air. So it's like with Snow's level of micro, the Reaver is going to be unbelievably efficient at that point. Should Flash have waited a little bit longer, right? Like, I think the thing is, if you wait too long for the push, then the Reavers will go back and be on the high ground. And it's like, okay, how do we break through that with siege tanks? It's hard. It's hard. You know, Snow really changes the way that you have to play TVP. Crazy game, though. And Flash does end up winning. So, guys, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
I need a target. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. I don't have a target.
Hey guys, welcome back to Artosis Casts. It is time for the rematch. Flash going up against Jaedong. Oh my gosh. Just for the record, guys, I actually have 4 games that they played in a row. So we already saw game number 1. It was actually very close, very well fought. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Flash was able to take that. I actually was really pretty sure Jaedong was, well, I am sure that Jaedong was about to take complete control of that game. But Flash was able to bust the third, and everything fell apart for Jaedong. So we'll see what Jaedong can end up doing here. But yeah, this is exciting. I really want, I'm going to consume basically every Flash game. Not necessarily cast them all. Guys, you can let me know in the comments. Is there ever too much Flash? But yeah, for me personally, so like right now from what I've seen, he's not in perfect shape. He's not completely caught up on the metagame, is what it feels like. But I feel like that's going to change extremely fast. Like, even just in this small clutch of replays, I think we're going to see the evolution, because, I mean, the guy knows more than everyone else, right? So he's going to be able to figure it out pretty quickly. And obviously he can watch some other players, talk to other players, see what they think, and all that. And I don't know exactly what his method is, but I do know he's Flash, and he literally every single time figures everything out. So, you know, one thing I want to mention, and one of my reasons I like to watch Flash, so like Flash is the ultimate player. If you're, well, I mean, he's the ultimate player anyways, but as a Terran player that I am, he's very useful to watch and very not useful to watch for multiple reasons. First off, he plays at a level that no one else can do. So you can't just straight copy everything he does. But for me personally, what I like to do is when he's in good shape, look at the theory behind what he's doing. Because he literally always has, by far, the best theory behind his plays. Right? His understanding is just so deep that you'll look at it and be like, oh. It's like a realization moment. Whereas you can watch some pros, right? Like you watch a pro and they'll do something, you're like, wait, is that good? And maybe it is and maybe it isn't. Right? Because everyone makes mistakes. Even, I mean, Flash occasionally makes a mistake, but if you watch the overall trends of his play, it will help to clarify thinking on what's going on as a Terran player, like very quickly.
I can't cast that yet.
So for me personally, it's like when Flash is active and in shape, I will watch every game just to be like, oh, this is what he sees about this matchup. Because he looks at the way he looks at trends. Like there was an interview because he took the 1-1-1 build many years ago to a completely different level. Like maybe year was it 2019 or something? The build like was getting like insanely good and good results, and he literally said in an interview something about like, oh, its win rate went down by about 2%, so I saw people were figuring it out, and then he started to innovate, and it's like, what? He's just such a different level. Anyways, it looks like a pretty standard opener here from Jaedong, right? 2-hatch layer. Flash once again did scout Jaedong first, and thus went for the 15 command center, right? So that's the 1 depot command center. And he didn't add the second racks this game. That first game, right, you saw him add the second racks. Here instead, he's gone for a fast gas. So this looks like it's a Valkyrie rush, probably. And of course, you have to make a bunker with this because your marine production is so low, it's so late that you're multiple marines behind. So yeah, that's what he's doing right now. He does not have a scout over here. If he was playing on the ladder against like a 2300 Zerg, about 400 speedlings would run in a minute and kill him. I want to make that clear. So, yeah, it must be nice to be at the top where no one plays like that. Now, Academy coming up in that top right, and of course there's the starport. So this is almost certainly a Valkyrie rush. I think if you look at that previous game, yeah, and there's the armory. Armory just got started. If you look at that previous game, Jaedong's mutas were really giving him a hard time. Like they picked off all of his siege tanks. You know, Jaedong was getting a lot of value out of his mutas. And Flash did some good defense too. He zoned the mutas out of his mineral line and stuff, so that was good. But it looks like Flash wants to deal with it in a very different way here. Just getting something that is a very strong counter and can shut down that Mutalist Craftsman pretty well. Second barracks on the way. These lings trying to be a bit annoying. That's a really good placement, by the way. I'm going to have to steal that one. Some good micro there from Flash. Medics starting to pop out. Looking down at Jaedong's base. 7 mutas being made. 7 a very important number that one-shot CSCVs. Turrets getting started. As long as you start those turrets by the time the mutas hatch, they will be ready. We did throw that scan down as well. And Jaedong once again with a third base that allows a stronger late game, right? If you expand here, it's easier to defend the third. If you expand here, you get a free fourth if you defend the third. For me personally, I hate people who expand here. I'd much rather they expand here. It's really hard to bust a third, but it's easy to deny a fourth, if that makes sense. But it does kind of, it makes games decided really quickly, right? We saw that in the previous game, in fact. Now, these mutas are actually doing a great job. They've already gotten a lot of kills. Flash has fallen to 25 SCVs. You're supposed to be around 33 when your turrets are being made. So definitely Jaedong dealing a lot of damage there. Jaedong is actually up in workers. Flash saves that Valkyrie, which is really important. Second Valkyrie on the way. No +1. He is getting range. We'll see if he ends up starting +1. Valkyries into mech has actually resurfaced as a build that people are liking again. Not sure if we're going to see that here. The +1, like, if we don't see +1 shortly, it's definitely going to be that. Ooh, Scourge is at 1 Valk, so very, very good. This one is going to be able to chase those away. A lot more mutas still in here. Oh, he's bringing the mutas up to try to kill this Valkyrie. Okay, Valkyrie turns around. He's got to be careful not to attack that. Scourge trying to go for it. No, that's not going to work. Good attempt. All right, brings up his lings as well. He's got to target this down. He's got to get rid of that Val. Okay, kills it off. Kills it off. Yeah, that is another thing to note is that Zergs have gotten... Valkyrie builds were very popular for quite some time. And Light made them super popular while Flash was in his military duty. So Zergs have gotten much better at killing Valkyries than they were before. So Flash has actually lost his first 2 Valks. Got to be careful on this one. Ooh, good defense there from Flash. Does eat one. And Jaedong is trying so hard here to actually kill it. He's not going to get it, though, unfortunately. Sacks like 3-4 more mutas and does not get the kill. Let's take a look at Jaedong's base, see what he's up to. So, no Hydralisk Den. Only... Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. There it is. I'm like, what? What is he doing? Okay, yeah. Hydralisk Den Lurker upgrade is on the way. Evolution Chamber as well as Queen's Nest. And yeah, this is going to switch into mech, guys. So Flash is doing the Valkyrie into mech build. Well, there's several of them right now. This is a weird variant that he's doing right now. I'm not as much a fan of this. I like the slightly heavier Marine Medic ones. I feel like they're a little bit more successful. The problem with this one, well, I don't know if I should call it a problem, but like, I don't know how you get 4 bases up with the one that he's doing, basically. Because he's going to have to switch into the mech a lot earlier. So he's fighting there. He takes out most of the Lings. He runs away from those Scourge. He just cannot be losing his Valkyries at this point. And, oh, a drop ship on the way. That's kind of cool. I think that's going to be for the Marine Medic. We have speed upgrade for Vultures, though. So a Vulture drop could be possible as well. And the reason he's going speed here, a lot of times you'll see mines, but the speed is actually to run by and get drone kills. Which is actually, it's a good variant of it. Light was using this quite a bit, like a year and a half ago. Light was very much liking that type of play. Now looking at Jaedong, quite a few Scourge out there. Pull some Overlords back. Hive almost done. Carapace on the way. Plenty of Lurkers. Plenty of Lurkers. I think we'll see him take that 4th base. He should be throwing up the 4th hatch in that main base relatively soon, I think. Oh, look at this. So he's going to bring his Valkyries are basically going to clear the path so he can get a drop off. And notice how he's bringing another 8 units over. It's so that he's going to basically unload and then shift click out, pick all this up and reload. And in fact, he's even going to bring in Vultures. But look at this. Jaedong is kind of ready. He burrows 1 Lurker. He has a lot of Scourge here.
I can't cast that yet.
Okay, Jaedong running his drones away, not taking too much damage as of yet. Okay, oh, he's got to get those Scourge up there. A real problem here. Yeah. Oh my God. Actually, 1 ends up living, but he clears everything so quickly here. Another group comes out. Plenty of Lurkers. So I feel like Jaedong is blocking everything really well. He ran his drones away. He really hasn't taken damage. He's losing a few Overlords, I guess, but not that many. The last Valkyrie does get cleaned. And, okay, so that's done. Okay, this is going to be a lull in the action now. The only thing Flash has available to him is Vultures at this point. Now, he does unload a couple Vultures. He does not have that +1 yet, so he's going to have to 3-shot drones unless he gets a little bit lucky with the grenades literally have to hit at the same exact moment to 2-shot. Because Zerg gets an instant heal of damage, right? Whereas, like, probes take a bit. Because drones heal slower, they actually get it instantly. So it's actually like 3 Vultures to 1-shot a drone. Okay, so anyways, I want to talk about this position because this is like he's doing the mech switch now. Right? Never get any upgrades. He's got a little bit of bio, and he needs to keep that bio alive for a little bit to just slow anything coming in at him.
Wait,
we
what
actually
the hell?
have Flyer Carapace, +2 armor, and Overlord speed, as well as Defilers coming up. I think that Jaedong knows that this is going to be mech. Defiler's still going to be useful. A lot of Vultures coming out and laying mines. Now, I don't like Flash's position very much. He's got his +1 on the way. Okay, he's going Irradiate. Okay. That actually has been something I've seen a few times lately when people have been trying to make mech work. I have seen Irradiate being added into it a little bit. And of course, you can spend some gas how you want right now because he's utilizing Vultures for his map control. But right now, Jaedong's getting up to 4 base really cleanly. So, as a 3 base player switching into mech right now, like, I don't know how you're supposed to win this as Flash. Like, he's not going to be cost efficient enough. He's not right now building an army of any high quality. You know, you have to utilize those vultures for the transitionary period. But Jaedong has so much going on right now. And I don't know that Flash has any real way to, because the original mech switches went into 4 base. On 4 base, you can build so much mech that you can actually kind of trade with Zerg. On 3 base, it's like, okay, you're going to have some cost efficiency. How are you going to attack? Well, there's already defilers with consume out. So, like, if he just uses some defiler-based defense on lurkers, you can't really move forward. And his economy's not big enough to, like, steamroll his way in. Now, this is some good harassment. This is really good. He's getting quite a few drones here. So really well done with this this vulture drop that gets off. Yeah, we'll end up getting that clean, but he kills a ton of drones. Kills more than 10 drones. There's the 4th. Right? So that's what I was talking about, what I'm nervous about for him. He has such bad defense, though. Right? Like, a few mines and 4 Marines up there. The main defense of this base is Jaedong doesn't know it's there. If he knew it was there, he'd just go up and kill it right this second, because this is the thing that can give Flash an opportunity in this game. By the way, kind of funny to see him get into these Ultralisk upgrades pretty heavily. Some people like Ultras against mech. I feel like drops are better. I feel like queens are better. You know, when the siege tank count gets really high, Ultras definitely can get deleted. Jaedong knows what he's doing, though. And I'm sure that he knows that it is mech. You know, even seeing the barracks floating around, I mean, that's that's a tell if nothing else is, and everything else is. Plays a few mines in between the bases. Okay, kind of cool. Looks like he's going for another drop. Ooh, a vulture drop back here could be good. Looks like he'll drop it off into this main base, though. Kind of surprising the angles these vultures are coming in. They're getting a lot of damage. You definitely got to hand it to him. Has all those mines laid as well, so pretty efficient. Yeah, he's actually going to clear all the lings, it looks like, which will allow him to kill even more drones. Big siege tank push down. He's just got to get... No, you can't let that die. What? Dude. You had one job, Jaedong. So, I mean, is Flash actually just going to randomly walk down siege tanks while I was watching, like, vulture harassment and win? Well, maybe not. The Ultras do get on top of those and clear them out. The thing is, if you have one lurker burrowed and you throw a Darkstorm down, the mech can't kill it. Like, he does have a radiate, so that could be a possibility, but the vessels are just getting reduced as soon as they show themselves. 4th base is up, the gas on the way, very importantly. Lots of siege tank production, armories going. These upgrades so good that Bio won't do anything. I literally didn't need that. They're invincible already with +2 carapace against +0 Marines. Another vulture drop coming out. I've never seen so many vulture drops in a mech vs. Zerg game, honestly. Normally you see like 1 and that's about it. All right, consuming up. So the army of Jaedong here, it's like kind of all over the place, but that's okay because the mech army is not really that large. Okay, he brings up heavy siege tanks, and actually all of these are, well, he throws down the Darkstorm, so that's going to be a nuisance. Got to unsiege there and run out of this area. Some more lings coming up as well. It looks like these tanks are all going to end up going down, unfortunately. Maybe he can micro and keep those alive for a little bit. Ooh, the plague going down as well. So painful indeed. Gonna maybe try to set up here. And this is something you can do where you can make these sieged, like kind of fortified positions that Zerg has a terribly hard time breaking. But if you do this and really turtle, Zerg has a few options. 1 is to take every other base on the map. 2 is to start doing drops. And 3 is to just go into mass queen. And of course, Mass Queen is the real reason why we basically never see mech. Queens have just come to dominate it so hard at this point. They're just so cost efficient. And there's generally not a timing that you can hit before the queens are ready. So we'll see if Jaedong actually starts to prepare that all. Right now, he's just massing Ling Ultra. I feel like he thinks he might be able to just kill Flash as opposed to play the longer game. Now, he is making Flyer Carapace. Let's check. He has +1 already, so he's going for +2. That could be for queens. That could be for a Mutalisk tech switch as well. Sometimes you get into these positions where it's like, wow, you really just are on tank vulture, and then you make 12 mutas and you fly across the map and you kill them. But there they are. There are the queens. Jaedong has looked at this and said, you know what? His defense is good enough. We have to go into queens now. And of course, queens with that spawn broodling, going to be able to pop these tanks so efficiently. You can see, this is why I was saying I don't like ultras against mech. It's like he's had a few good engagements and he's killing a little bit, but it's like, I mean, they are not being efficient, right? Each one of those is 200 gas. The tanks are just slaughtering them right now. So Flash kind of pushing towards the center. It actually might be worthwhile to make a small group of Mutalisks. I feel like he could kill quite a bit. Look at this spread from Flash. This is some wild play. I don't feel like no one plays mech like this right now. That's for sure. So the queens right now, he actually, I don't know if he got spawn broodling. Oh, there it is. It's on the way. My bad. It does take a while, right? It's 150 energy, so it takes about 2 minutes after you make a queen to be able to spawn broodling. Maybe a little bit less. But it does take a bit. So that's, you know, the one thing about the queens is sometimes when you see queens pop, if you can attack immediately, you can get a lot of damage done because a ton of supply is sucked up into those queens. Okay, Darkstorm comes down, but there's no lurker here, so this can be killed via siege mode. Notice he's mass sieging tanks here. Pops it. Oh, he's blocking anything from coming down that ramp with the vultures. I actually like moves like that. Allow them to take all their splash up there. And there's this single lurker. Bam. Now, he might actually put something on top of it and target it. If you put a vulture on top and target... Oh, he actually laid a mine and the mine got it. Nice. And so Flash is being really efficient here. But look at the supply of Jaedong. The supply of Jaedong is actually significantly higher. Lots more Lings and Ultras on the way. I feel like he's just trying to slow him down while he waits for Queen energy. So he's at 120. So we have about 30 seconds before the first Broodlings go off. And the first group was 13 Queens. So it's going to be a lot of spawn Broodlings that come out. Ling Ultra still coming down, throwing down those Dark Swarms. That is a lot of siege tanks. Broodlings are going to be an issue here, though. Almost ready. Another 10 seconds or so before we start seeing Broodlings come out. All right, so just mass Darkstorms. Look at the siege tanks. How in the hell does he have this many? This is like absolutely absurd. Okay, so he has 6 add-ons making siege tanks. So I guess that's a big part of it. Now the queens are ready. It is time to utilize spawn broodling. Here we go. Oh my god. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why no one goes mech against Zerg. So already he popped 7. Here comes another 10. Oh, he actually triple casted on 1 there. A little bit of a misplay. Not a lot of anti-air here. Has 3 more that are ready, 4 more or so that are ready. But yeah, as he reduces the siege tank out. By the way, the queen costs slightly less than a tank. So like as soon as you cast one, it's paid for itself. And then sometimes the broodlings like cause damage to other things. Occasionally, right? And then it's like, okay, now they're going to recharge. And the cost efficiency is just so high. You're really looking with mech to have high cost efficiency, but when they're killing your tanks and retaining the unit that killed it most of the time, it's so painful. Now you can see Jaedong starting to swarm in here a little bit. There's a plague down on vultures, which is always funny. The queens have to wait a little bit. He keeps attacking down this little ramp with ultras against mass siege tank. Still so many siege tanks coming down. Flash's macro, just absolutely crazy. This is like the never-ending siege tank push against this 6 o'clock base. Is Flash actually going to be able to take this? Has he actually produced so many siege tanks that even 20 queens aren't going to stop him? It might be. Darkstorm goes down again. Okay, gets like a nice plague off here. This is okay. I have to be serious. If Jaedong just makes a group of mutas, he wins. Like, he has spent so much money on everything else. There's literally nothing that shoots up. He has +2 flyer carapace. Like, he can just make a group of mutas fly over here and kill all these tanks. And the game is over at that point, because then by the time, like, you have to start making anti-airs flash. And by the time you have anything big again, the queens have another round. And Jaedong GG's. Okay, so Flash does end up winning with mech, and his macro siege tanks was really impressive, but like, for reals, a group of mutas would have ruined this push. Just no anti-air here whatsoever. Okay, anyways, it was a good game. It was a fun game. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.
If all of the kings had their queens on the throne, we would pop champagne and raise a toast to all of the queens who are fighting alone. Baby, you're not dancing on your own. Can't live without me, you wanna, but you can't. Nah. Think it's funny, but honey, can't run the show on your own. I can feel my body shake, there's only so much I can take. I'll show you how a real queen behaves. No damsel in distress, don't need to save me. Once I stop breathing fire, you can't tame me. And you might think I'm weak without a soul. If all of the kings had their queens on the throne, we would pop champagne.
Welcome to the world of oligarchy. Ooh, that's exciting.
Hello, everybody.
Here we go.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
As I am sure you have heard, there is a lot that's going on here in Washington, D.C. So let me say a few words and try to explain it.
Okay.
Bottom line, after all is said and done, is that after months of negotiations, Senate Democrats and House Republicans reached an agreement called a continuing resolution, which would continue to fund the government for 3 months.
Okay.
Frankly, that agreement was not something that I was all that excited about, but it was better than nothing.
Okay.
And I was prepared and am prepared to vote for it.
Okay.
And one of the reasons is that it contained a reasonable increase in funding for primary health care, something that I feel very strongly about and that my committee, the Health, Education, Labor, and Pension Committee, is responsible for.
Sure.
And given the enormous crises that we're facing in health care in this country today, it really would be of help to many millions of Americans.
It's true.
What this legislation would do is significantly, or modestly at least, increase funding for community health centers all over this country, which treat about 30 million Americans who are low income or working class. And it would also increase the number of young doctors who go out into rural America and also into underserved areas. That is where we need the doctors and the nurses, and that's what this legislation would do.
Yeah.
In any case, within the House of Representatives, the Republican House, and the Democratic Senate, there was widespread agreement on this resolution, and it was just about ready to be passed. In fact, the Republicans posted it on their website. We were ready to go. But then, out of nowhere, the wealthiest man in the world, Elon Musk.
I think that the problem is that, and I could be really off base on this because I've only looked at this a little bit, but it seems like when bills like this get passed, it's almost like you have a shopping cart full of items, and each item is a different type of, you know, incentive or funding or something like that. And so, like, I don't think anybody would be against this if it was an individual bill. But the problem is that I think a lot of people see all of these bills being bundled together, and then they kind of use what I would say is, I think this is kind of like emotional language, right? Where you're like, okay, well, now you're against funding underprivileged schools or underprivileged, like, doctors or something like that. Well, that's not really what the problem is. Pork? What's the word pork? Yeah, I'm not familiar. Pork barrel politics? Yeah, great analogy. Shopping cart's perfect. Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard of that. It's bloated. Yeah. Well, either way. And so, like, if you have inside of a bill, you're talking about funding for, let's say, a you know, like, for like medical stuff, and then you also have something for, like, the military. Like, these should be separate things. And I think that's what people have a problem with the most. And I think also when these bills end up not getting passed, what happens is that people try to look at one aspect of the bill and use that as like an emotional draw. It's like, well, this is for children's cancer research. Do you want to stop children's cancer research? And it's like, well, no, of course I don't, but I also don't want to fund this other thing that I think is problematic that's in the same bill. And so there's just a lot of, I think, very disingenuous language going on with this. And this also, by the way, I'm not an expert in this, right? I'm not an expert, like, but this is what I've been reading about this a little bit, and that's what I think that the problem is. And I think people are starting to realize that.
Began tweeting his opposition to this legislation. In fact, he was very blunt about it. He told Republicans that if they voted for this proposal, which they had already agreed to do, he would take out his wallet and spend as much money as it took to defeat them in primaries and drive them out of office. You got that?
That's been going on forever, and that happened to Bernie Sanders. The thing is that, like, he's right, and like, I don't think that it's a good thing that people like Elon Musk have as much political power as they do. I think it's very bad. But the reason why I think that a lot of people aren't going to be as sympathetic is because there have always been people like that, like Bill Gates, or you could look at like George Soros or something like that. I think George Soros is a bit overblown, but, you know, as another example, you have Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, like all of these people have been doing this for years, right? It's not okay, it isn't. But, well, the problem is that when you create a game and then somebody beats you at your own game, you can't say that the game is rigged. You see what I'm saying?
I need a target.
Yeah, your chat's retarded. This is the reason why the country will never achieve class consciousness and will continue to get fucked in the ass. Don't be mad at my chat. That's just the way that people are. Yeah, Musk did it openly. The rest do it behind closed doors. Yeah, I think that's it. George Soros is the reason why they canceled Romanian elections. Well, I don't know about that. I have no idea. But anyway, so I think that's really what the problem is. And I think also,
I don't have a target.
If you were to ask, I think, an average American, do you think that the elections and the amount of money involved in politics is a bad thing? I think that you would probably get like 80% of people saying yes. And I think that if you had asked that 10 years ago, you would have had pretty much the same number. So it's not like Elon Musk invented this problem. What the fuck is class consciousness? What he's saying is that, so he makes a good point, and it's something that I've said before, but your hope for class consciousness, you're totally delusional. The average IQ of an average person is too low for that to ever happen. And there are too many stupid people that can be manipulated against their own best interests and taken advantage of. You'll never achieve class consciousness because people are stupid. That's the reality. And I'm talking about in a generality. Like, a generality. Like, it will never happen.
What can I help you with?
Right? Yeah, I understand. But, like, you know, I get what you're saying. It's just not going to happen.
Take a deep breath and appreciate what's going on here. The wealthiest person in the world, who spent at least $277 million to elect Donald Trump in a Republican Congress, has now claimed complete ownership of that party.
Well, I mean, you don't even need to go that far. You can look at Donald Trump himself. He's also a billionaire, and he basically owns the Republican Party. Like, he totally took it over. And, like, he got rid of, like, I mean, think about it, like, Jeb Bush, right? I mean, the Bush, like, there's 2 presidents that were Bush. He deleted them. That was it. So, yeah, of course. He's trying to Discord? Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying, right? And Trump did that with a number of other people, too. Elon did not take over. I'm not saying that Elon took over. I said Trump took over. Like, Trump is the kingmaker and the ring giver of the Republican Party. It's not even a question. He's the guy.
And what you're saying is, hey, Republicans, forget your constituents, forget your constitutional responsibility.
Yeah.
If you don't do what Elon Musk, want you to do, you're out of office.
Well, anybody can do that. Yeah, that's the thing. And I think this is very problematic as well. But, I mean, the thing is that Bernie Sanders, this is the truth. I think Bernie Sanders would agree with what I'm saying, too, because he's been a victim of it. Bernie Sanders has been a victim of this oligarchy 2 times, in 2016 and 2020. But the reason why I think that it falls on deaf ears is because this system has been used for so long, and I don't think that people care that now it's being used in their benefit. Yeah, he would fight it. No, and I respect Bernie. Like, you guys might not know this. I'm a huge fan of Bernie Sanders. I love Bernie Sanders. I think he's great. Like, and again, he's not talking about, and here's the reason why. He's not talking about, like, a trans issue here. He's not talking about, you know, like, some weird social issue. He's talking about real fucking, like, numbers, money, and the real fucking shit. And I feel like this guy also, again, if you disagree with him, you don't like this guy, that's fine. But you've got to admit that he has been completely consistent for like 50 fucking years. He's fake. He wasn't fake when he was getting arrested when he was protesting for civil rights in the 60s. That wasn't fake. That's not AI photos. That was actually him. No, he was not fucking fake. Like, you can say that you disagree with them, for sure, but disagreeing with somebody doesn't mean that they're fake. So yeah, anyway, but I think really this issue is a big problem, but I don't really see anybody in the Democrats that were looking to solve it. And also, people can look at COVID, for example. So you say Elon Musk is very powerful. I think that's very true. But so collectively are all of the social media websites that deplatformed people for not using the government's language and terminology and adhering to the government narrative about COVID. So, like, how is it that... And I feel like that's the way that an average person is looking at this. They say, okay, well, now that the shoe's on the other foot, now it's a problem. Okay, well, there you go. It's kind of what I was saying before about how if you want to create a weapon to rule over other people, the only thing that you have to do for it to be used to rule against you is wait, because things always change. And I think this is a great example of it.
It's too far away.
And I have the money to do just that.
Yeah.
That spell is ready yet.
My friends, what we are looking at here has nothing to do with democracy. What we are looking at here is oligarchy.
Yeah,
this
he's
is
right.
Up and up. Government by the billionaire class for the billionaire class.
Well, I mean, I think that the best evidence of this is you just look at the net worth of senators before and after they leave office. Look at Obama or Bill Clinton. How do you make all that money? And by the way... And Bernie is not even remotely close to that. I understand that, like, you know, again, yes, Bernie has money, he has multiple houses, etc. You know, how can you be socialism if you own a house? This guy is the longest standing senator in the history of America. I think if he has 2 or 3 houses, it's okay.
Musk is not only
Served for 50
trying
years.
to intimidate Republicans, he is trying to inject himself into the Democratic Party as well. He is threatening to target Democrats who are standing up to him and his agenda.
Of course.
Further, and very dangerous.
Yeah, obviously that's
And
happening.
this is the guy, you know, who owns Twitter.
Oh, it's X now. Guys, it's
As
X.
part of his campaign to defeat this resolution, Musk has been spreading an enormous amount of disinformation and outright lies about what is in the bill. He said that the measure would include a 40% pay raise for Congress. That's a lie. It is a 3.9% increase, the same as federal employees
I don't know.
are receiving.
Yeah.
He said that this legislation would fund bioweapons labs.
Oh.
Not true. In fact, it provides funds to protect Americans from emerging infectious diseases. He said that the country would be just fine if the government shut down.
Yeah.
Really? Here's what happens if Mr. Musk gets his way and the deal implodes. Funding for kids' cancer research gets cut. At a time when we are already paying the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs, pharmaceutical middlemen will be able to continue to overcharge you for your prescriptions.
It's crazy how bad it is. Like, I've seen how much money people in, like, other countries in some cases pay for medicine. And, like, I live in Texas, so there's a lot of people that go down to Mexico for medical care because it's like 80% cheaper.
Americans recovering from devastating floods, fires, and hurricanes, often due to climate change, won't get the help that they need.
It's too far away.
That's what happens if the proposal goes down. And what happens if the government shuts down? Well, our troops won't get their paychecks. Nearly 7 million women and children who rely on WIC nutrition assistance could go hungry. And 2 million federal government workers, some of whom don't make a whole lot of money, won't be getting paid. Now let us be very clear. Elon Musk was not elected to be president of the United States.
Nope.
In fact, he was not elected to be dog catcher. And by the way, what all of this hoopla is really about, above and beyond everything I'm talking about, is that when Trump and Musk come into power in late January, do you know what their first order of business will be? You think it'll be to fix health care? You think
We're going to put all the minorities and women in jail.
Deal with climate change? Deal with homelessness? Well, if you
Put all
thought
the
that,
homeless
you're dead
people in
wrong.
jail.
Their first order